Now we're on. All right. Okay, I'm sorry guys. I forgot to switch the microphone. Okay, to switch on the microphone. Now you can hear me, right? Yeah. All right. Hello, Ana Luisa Alckmin, our beautiful moderator. All right. Welcome to you all. Welcome to one more VIP live English class right here at VIP English Club by Mauro Vergara. I am Leonardo Leite. You all already know that. Okay. Okay. Good. So I started saying things in the beginning and I was muted, so you couldn't hear my voice. My question to you all, actually, what I said was good afternoon, good evening, good morning, no matter where you are, welcome to our class. Good evening to those who are in Russia. Are you in Russia watching the World Cup? Are you really? All right. We are right in the middle of this wonderful World Championship football. Something very curious about this World Cup thing. Okay, hello guys. Oh, I can see you all. Very nice, very nice. Something very curious about about the language. Uh, in the entire world, the sports that we love so much is called football, right? But in America, in the United States, it's called soccer. Only in America. You can talk about football in the rest of the world, England, New Zealand, Canada, and everybody will first think about our football. But in America, you have to say soccer because they have that American football and it's very, very big. It's important in America, the football, the American football. But in the rest of the world, you can just say football as well, and it's our football. All right. Okay, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, last week we we started a new magic story, and it was all about Carlos, right? I told you a little bit about Carlos. That 17 years ago he went to the United States as an exchange student, and then he came back to Brazil, graduated from the university, became an entrepreneur. He didn't want to go. He didn't want to have a regular 9 to 5 job, and he decides to travel abroad, right? So he's going to. Do you remember where he's going to? Yes, he's going to Las Vegas, Nevada, in the United States. Do you know why he's going there? Do you know what he's going there for? Do you remember? Yes, he was going. Well, actually, he is going for a conference, right? He became an entrepreneur, so he's going to meet with lots of entrepreneurs from all over the world, and to this big business conference, business congress. Las Vegas is a very special place for people on vacation and also for business events, fairs, events, congress, conferences. The hotels are enormous, they're huge, and they have huge facilities for events. So Las Vegas is a big place for it. Actually, it's the most professional, largest, and greatest place for events because the hotels are something else. You don't see anything like Las Vegas anywhere else in the world. You can't find things that you will find in Vegas. Anyway, we decided to move on with this magic story. Uh, and in this special class, we're going to talk about we're going to practice everything that we need using all the vocabulary, all the necessary vocabulary to talk about Carlos's trip to Vegas. But what I want you to do is take whatever we learn here today into your own experience. So the interesting news for today is that there is no pre-made story. You and I are going to build the second part of this story. Okay. The title of the magic story today is Let's Travel. Let's travel. And we're going to base our lesson on what Carlos is going to do. He's going to travel to Vegas. So we are going to build this story with all the information and vocabulary about traveling. Now, I'm not going to teach you the vocabulary like Erica Belmonte teaches wonderfully, right? It's in my opinion, she is the best teacher to teach you vocabulary in any situation, right? If you want to learn about eggs, just watch Erica Belmonte's live class, right? If you want, and later I'm gonna ask her to do a class to set up a class with all the vocabulary, all the traveling vocabulary that we need. What we're going to do here today, I'm gonna go over the most common phrases, most common questions, and what we really need to know, and the phrases that we need to use when we are traveling. But we're going to use Carlos's story to do that. What do you think? Good idea, huh? So let me show you what the beginning of the story of the previous lesson. I think it's right here. Okay. So here we have the beginning of the story, but the most important part is this one here. Okay, let me go over the story with you here. Carlos is a 35-year-old man from Brazil. 17 years ago, he went to America as an exchange student and lived with an American family for about a year. He came back home and graduated from the university. And he didn't want to have a regular 9-to-5 job, so he wanted to be self-employed. Right? So he started his own business, and now he is an entrepreneur. But the most important thing here for this class is that in a few weeks, Carlos is going to travel abroad to a different country. He's flying to Vegas, Nevada in the United States, and he's going to join a big group of entrepreneurs from all over the world in a 2-day business conference. He's very excited. He's going to take a few extra days to stay there for a total of 5 days, and he's probably taking his wife with him, right? I think we learned that in the previous lesson. So what does Carlos need to do before and during his trip to Vegas? Okay, so we're gonna go over, I divided this class into parts of a trip before and during the trip. Okay, and so here are the parts that we are going to learn today. Okay, making a hotel reservation. We're going to learn everything that we need to make a hotel reservation. What happens is that normally nowadays in this modern world that we live in, we don't call anymore. We don't call the hotel reservation desk to make reservations. Very few people do that, and sometimes it is useful, right? But normally nowadays we go on the web and make the reservation. That's what we do, right? So making a hotel reservation, I'm going to show you the vocabulary and I'm going to show you some phrases, but all you need to do is go online. We've got lots of hotel reservations websites that will help you do that. And so here I'm going to show you the most important phrases and terms that you must know in order to make a hotel reservation. Sometimes it is very helpful to understand that so you can make reservations in different websites, not only the ones in Portuguese, right? So you can compare prices before you make your hotel reservation, right? After the making a hotel reservation, and I'm going to leave this space blank so you will understand why, because we're going to build the vocabulary and the story right after it. Anyway, and then we're going to the airport, and we're going to learn all the possible phrases and words and terms and questions related to the airport. All right. Immigration. I'm going to go over the most common questions, and the most common topics that you must be prepared to talk about when you are at the immigration. Talking to the immigration officer and so on. And then once you arrive at the destination airport, what kind of transportation are you going to use? Do you need to get some cash, some money? Do you need to exchange money? So, for example, if you are traveling with the Brazilian money and you want to exchange it into dollars, but you haven't done that before, what can you do? So all the very basic and normal stuff that we normally do when we arrive at our destination airport, right? And then we're going to arrive at the hotel. Okay, we're going to arrive at the hotel. And what do we normally, when we arrive at the hotel, there's no more websites, there's no more online, and there's no more reading. You're going to have to talk to the clerk. You're going to have to talk to the registration clerk, to the guy at the front desk, once you arrive at the hotel. So what are the normal phrases that we use, and what do we normally talk about when we arrive at the hotel? All right. So are you excited about that? Huh? Okay, good. After we go over this vocabulary, we are going to fill in all these things with all these terms and words and phrases with Carlos's information, and then we are going to build the story, today's story. Okay, so we're going to build the story together, you and I. Are you ready? Good. So now just tell me, type in there in the chat box saying, I am ready. I want to learn this. Okay, this is useful stuff, although it's very basic. It's very simple, very easy. But if you don't train, if you don't practice, you're not going to remember it. And you're going to go, I don't know what to say. So you've got to practice. You've got to imagine Carlos's, making the reservation, going to the airport, going through all the parts of the airport, and arriving at the hotel, and talking to the hotel clerk and taking his trip. And then you're going to practice with your own information. So if you are ready, my friend, just type it in. I'm ready. All right. Okay, good. So are you ready? Yes? Good. So let's do this. Let's go back here. Right? So we know that he's flying to Vegas. He's going by plane. We know that he's going on business. We know that he's going to stay there for 5 days. We know that he's going to stay at a hotel. We know that he's going to take his wife, although it's not here, but we know from the previous story that his wife is going as well. And let's take a look at making hotel reservation terms. Okay, Good. We are ready. Making a hotel reservation. All right. As I said before, nowadays we make a hotel reservation on the web, right? Now, if there is any one of you here who still calls the hotel to make a reservation, please let me know. I want to see who it is. All right? Because nowadays I don't know anybody who calls to make a reservation. When I first started teaching English, I had to teach people how to do that. You call to the reservation, line, and then he said, "Well, yeah, I would like to make a reservation for a type of room," and then we needed to know all this vocabulary here so we could make the reservation on the telephone. But nowadays you don't have to say anything, but you have to understand what those terms mean. Okay, good. So the check-in date is the date that you're going to go into the hotel. Check-out date is the opposite. It's when you're going to leave the hotel. Check out of the out of the hotel. So that's very simple, right? Check-in date, check-out date. Lots of people, especially Brazilians, they sometimes they think that check-in is only at the airport, right? Checking the bags. But the check-in, you check in many different situations. One of them is a hotel, right? But you can check in at the library. You can check out a book at the library. So check in and check out has a quite broad meaning. All right. Number of rooms. So when you go and make your reservation, depending on the number of your party. Do you remember Erica Belmonte teaching you how many are in your party when she taught us about how to and what to say in a restaurant? So depending on the number of people in your party, the number of people in your group, you need to understand. You need to know the number of rooms that you're going to need, 1, 2, or 3, and the type of room. The type of room, and here I'm gonna give you the types of rooms here, right? You have the standard room. You can have superior room. That will change depending on the hotel. Okay, superior room, and then you have king king size bed, double beds. Okay, double beds, and a suite. All right, a suite. It could be an executive suite. It could be a presidential suite. All right, a standard room could be king or double. All right, superior room to king or double. Every time you go online and you see king, you know that it's one of those large beds. When we call double beds, normally there are two double beds. Okay, 2 double beds. King size bed is 1 bed for 2 people. Double beds are 2 beds for 4 people. All right. A suite is normally a room with a living room. Okay. Basically, that's it. All right. And it's the most superior. It's usually the best rooms they have. They're the suites. So you have junior suites, executive suites. And when we're talking about Vegas, there are all kinds of names for suites, signature suites, right? Palace suites, and so on. There's one more, and you should know that. Okay, it's called Villas. Villas, they're very common in Vegas and very expensive too. Villas are normally your own resort, your own private resort. It's a big apartment that looks like a house with a garden, normally with a private swimming pool, with a dining room, a living room, a resting area, normally two bedrooms and two or three bathrooms, right? Uh, it's really big and it's really expensive, and it can fit up to like 8 or 10 people. So that's a villa. If you watch, if you watched what I think it's Hangover. The name of the movie is Hangover. In Portuguese, Hangover. It's Se Beber Não Case, I believe. And it takes place in Vegas, and the group of friends they stay in a villa. All right. So if you ever want to watch that movie, Hangover 1, 2, and 3, but we're talking about the one, they go to Las Vegas, they stay in a villa, right? Number of guests, you have to pay attention, the number of guests in total or number of guests per room, right? Cancellation policy, that's something that you need to pay attention when you're making your reservation, is the rules about that, all the all the rules that make that reservation. For example, if you want to cancel the reservation, do you have to pay a fee, an extra fee? Do you have to pay a fine, or is it free? Until what date can you cancel the reservation for free? This is very, very important when you are making the reservation, because normally we make the hotel reservation ahead of time and things happen. We normally, it's possible that you find a better price, a better deal in the hotel, and you need to cancel that reservation. So cancellation policy is very, very important. Normally the hotels have different prices for free cancellation or no refund. Okay? Free or no refund. Oops. No refund. Well, normally when you make a reservation with no refund, the price for the night, okay, the rate for the night will be lower. So the hotel accepts receiving less money if you compromise not to cancel it. Okay? If you commit, not compromise, if you commit not to cancel. So that's very, very important. Why? Because you need to give your credit card information. You need to give your credit card number, and they will have that number in file and on file. And if you don't show up, they will charge the room to your credit card. All right? Good. So this is okay. This vocabulary here is all for you to understand. You don't need to talk about these things, okay? And we're not going to talk about the hotel reservation, making the hotel reservation in Carlos's story. But it's important that you understand this, okay? Check-in date, check-out date, number of rooms, type of rooms. You will understand in a few minutes. Now, let's move on to the airport. And now you need to understand what to talk about when you get to the airport. Okay? Well, one of the most important things that you must know is the name of your airline. Okay? When normally we don't say company or airline company. It's okay to say airline company, but just airline is all right. So which airline are you flying? Or what airline are you flying? Okay, what airline are you traveling? What airline are you traveling? What airline are you flying? Okay, I'm flying American Airlines. I'm flying Delta Airlines, right? I'm flying LATAM, right? We're going to talk about how Americans say Latam, okay? That's how they say it. Anyway, so which airline are you flying? Okay, a check-in counter is where you're going. When you get to the airport, the first place that you're going to look for is the check-in counters. Okay, the check-in area. And that is the most common, everybody knows that. But if you are lost, you can say, excuse me, I'm trying to find my way to the check-in counter, or I'm trying to find my way to American Airlines counter. I'm trying to find my way to Delta Airlines counter. The check-in agent is the person that is going to help you check in your bags. Okay, guys, to check in a flight has two meanings. The first meaning is to deliver your bags, is to check in your bags so they will take care of your bags. But also, to check in the flight is to make sure that they know you're going. So when you check in, you receive your boarding pass. You only receive your boarding pass. You only receive your boarding pass after you check in. Nowadays, in this beautiful modern world, you can check in through your cell phone app. Right? If you're not, even if you are traveling with luggage, you can still check in the flight through your cell phone app, right? And you can receive your boarding pass through your cell phone app as well, right? Good. Now let's talk about two things here. The tickets, that's very simple, right? The tickets is what you buy to travel. Okay, you buy the ticket. So it's very common to answer questions like, when did you purchase your ticket? All right, what's your ticket number? Where did you purchase your ticket? How did you pay for your ticket? Okay, these are very common questions. Luggage. All right, luggage, it's the broad name that includes bags, suitcases, carry-on bags, or carry-on luggage. Carry-on luggage is the one that you take with you to the airplane, that you take with you on board. So that's why it's called carry-on. Okay, carry on board, right? Bags, these are bags. Okay, this is a bag. Now, a suitcase is those big ones that we normally carry on long trips. Okay, these are suitcases. So we talked about boarding pass. So once you get your boarding pass, you are ready to go. You're ready to go to the gate. Before you go through the gate, you need to go through security check. All right, the security check, it's important that you understand that, because sometimes you will hear people saying you go past security check and then you take concourse B to the west, and then you will find your departure gate. So it's important that you understand what security check is. Security check in the United States, something very big and very important, right? Is where you go through metal detector, you pass your all your luggage, all your carry-on luggage through the X-ray. In the United States, you go through a body through a body scan. There's a body scan machine that they scan your entire body to find for things in your pockets or anything that you might be carrying, and that's not legal, right? The departure gate. Okay. The departure gate, it's normally the door in which you're going to board the plane. Okay, it's very important when you're traveling, you understand, you know the name of your departure gate. Okay, that's why they have all those monitors so you can find your flight number and the boarding gate. It's also boarding gate. Okay, boarding boarding gate. All right, and it's usually a number or a letter and a number. All right. Now, airport lounge. Airport lounge, some people are very familiar with it, some people are not familiar with what airport lounge means. An airport lounge is a special place people here in Brazil like to call, like our English class here, it's called VIP lounge. VIP room, right? An airport lounge is a place where you can wait for your flight, and they have food, beverages, they're very comfortable. And the access to this airport lounge is usually if you're traveling first class, business class, or if you are a member of a very VIP credit card, or you're paying for it. Okay. So some people don't even know that if you want to, if you want to have a long wait at the airport, you can just pay your access to the airport lounge, and you will have Wi-Fi connection, beverages, food, places to work like desks, comfortable seats, comfortable couch, television, reading areas, library, magazines, newspapers. It's really cool. It's really cool. So that's called the airport lounge. All right. So far, so good. So far, so good. It's important that you understand this because we're going to build our story with this vocabulary, right? Okay, good. Now, here comes a very important point, a very important moment on your trip, especially if you are traveling abroad, and especially if you're traveling to English speaking countries like United States, Canada, New Zealand, Australia. They all have a very strict immigration check. So on the screen here, I'm giving you purpose of the trip, length of stay, travel money, relatives in the country, and job. So these are the topics. These are the common topics that you're going to talk about at the immigration desk, at the immigration check to the immigration officer. Now, these are the topics, not the vocabulary. So you must know how to say why you are going to the United States in the case of Carlos, right? That's Carlos' case. He's going to the United States. So he needs to explain why he's going to the United States. Length of stay is how long Carlos is going to stay in the United States. You must be able to explain to the officer the length of your stay. How many days, how many weeks, how many months, how long you will be staying there. In the end of this class, I'm going to give you the questions that they normally ask you. All right? So, length of stay is very important. Travel money. Travel money. That's not the vocabulary, that's the topic. You must be able to explain how you're paying for your trip. Okay? What kind of money and how much money you are bringing into the country. Not exactly, not exactly okay? But you know, just an estimate of how much money you're traveling and how you're carrying it. So, are you carrying credit cards? Are you carrying cash? Are you carrying prepaid credit cards? Right? How you're going to survive in that country for those days? Relatives in the country. That's a less common question. All right, that's a less common question, but it's common. He's going to ask you, do you have any relatives in the country living here in the United States? Do you have any family members living in the United States? You can always say that, you can always tell the truth, okay? If you have any relatives living in the United States, that's not a problem, okay? People say, oh, if I say I have a sister who lives here, they're gonna ban me from entering the country. No, the most important thing that you must have to enter the country is a visa. Okay, you must have a visa. All right. And the last topic that you should talk about is your job, what you do. Okay, what you normally do back home. All right. What do you do? What do you do back home? How do you make money? How do you make a living? That's a good question. How do you make a living back home? How do you make a living in Brazil? And then you must be able to explain what you do. But if you have seen our previous lessons, you're going to be able to talk about all these things very, very easily, my friend. Okay, good. Well, you go through immigration, everything is cool. You pick up your bags. Okay, here, oh, I forgot. I'm gonna put this here. It's important. It is important. Okay, that is important. So here's what we're going to do. And here. And here. Okay. We should put here baggage claim. So it's not going to be in the right order, but it is important to go to the baggage claim area. Okay? Pick up the bags. Anyway, you go through immigration, and then when you get to the airport, to the actual airport, what you're going to do, is find your way out of the airport. So you're gonna have all these kinds of transportation for you. Okay, shuttle. A shuttle is normally a van or even a bus. All right, that will take you from the airport to downtown area, to an airport, to a hotel, right, to the conference. And there are all kinds of shuttles. I'm gonna put it here. You can even get a shuttle to the car rental company, right? But here you have a shuttle, a limo service. Do you know what a limo service is? A limo service is a private car that you hire to pick you up. Okay? It's not a limousine. It's not necessarily a limousine. Okay? One of those big long cars, luxurious, very common in America. Okay? Not only those cars, but any kind of private car with a private chauffeur that will pick you up at the airport. Normally, those chauffeurs with your name on a sign, right? Right after you leave baggage claim, you have the chauffeur with the name of the person. That's a limo service. Taxi, very easy. Uber or Lyft. Lyft is the Uber's competitor in America. It's the largest Uber's competitor in America. Okay, an Uber ride or a Lyft ride. Subway, bus, and here we also have car rental. Normally, when you get to an airport in the United States and you're going to rent a car, in the largest airports, you have a separate building only for car rentals. Only for car rentals. So normally you need to pick up a train, you need to get on a monorail, on a subway, to go to this separate building in which all car rental companies are established. Okay, so it's also an alternative. Another thing that you should probably look for is an ATM machine. Okay, an ATM machine is a cash machine. Okay, cash machine, ATM or cash machine. People in America will understand you totally. All right, so you can ask, excuse me, where can I find a cash machine? Where can I find an ATM? An ATM is an automatic teller machine. Okay? ATM stands for automatic teller. Teller is the person in the bank teller. Automatic teller machine, or just cash machine. ATM is very common, very common. At the ATM machine, you're going to withdraw some money with prepaid cards or with your credit card. Now, if you have reals and you want to exchange into dollars, you need to go to a currency exchange office. Okay? So all you need to do is ask, where can I find currency exchange office? All right? And baggage claim area is right here. No need to explain. Or do I need to explain? Okay. Anyway. Arriving at the hotel. Now, in this case here, this is very important. Before we move on, is everybody with me? Is everybody going? Is everybody following me here? Yes? Type in the chat box so I can feel nice and know that you're all watching this. All right? So far, so good. Because now, arriving at the hotel, you are going to need to talk. You need to talk and you need to listen. Now, at the airport, you need to listen more than talk, right? In the transportation, you need to listen more than talking. But at the hotel, you need both. You need to listen. You need to listen to the guy or to the girl, and you need to explain what you need if you need anything, right? If you need anything else. Anyway, when you arrive at the hotel, you have to find the registration office. Normally, in the big hotels, especially in Vegas, like Carlos is going, you will find a big sign saying registration. And normally, the lines are long, okay, to check in. Something that you need to understand, too, is the check-in time and check-out time. If you come into the town very early, you will probably have to wait until check-in time, or you will need to ask for an early check-in. Okay? Early check-in. And they will normally, depending on the place, they will give you the early check-in if the room is available, or they're going to charge you for an early check-in, usually $20 to $50 fee for an early check-in, or you're going to have to wait. Normally, the check-in time is around 3 p.m. and the checkout time is normally noon, 12 o'clock, some hotels 11 p.m., right? So when you arrive, you have to be able to understand, and if you want to ask for an early check-in or a late checkout, you're going to be talking to the clerk about that. Something that you also should consider is talking to the clerk, to the hotel attendant, about an upgrade to a superior room. This is very cultural and it's very common in America. It's not bad. You can ask for an upgrade to a superior room. If they have it, they will give you. All right? So that's a good hint to you. If you make a reservation to the standard or superior. Normally, if you make a reservation to a superior room, they will give you an upgrade, even with a better view or to a larger room or even a suite. All right? So we have to practice talking about upgrading to a superior room. What phrases do we use? Okay, how can I ask, well, can I get an upgrade to a superior room? All right. Is it possible to get an upgrade, especially if you have a smile on your face? Okay, good. Facilities. It's important to understand that word. Facilities is not facilidades. Okay? Facilities are all the structure of the hotel. Swimming pool is a facility. Conference rooms is a facility. Restaurants are facilities. All right. Business center is a facility. A facility is any kind of a structure that helps the guests in the hotel. Facilities are very common for clubs too. You go to a club, to a sports club, so you go see the facilities, right? The locker rooms, the swimming pools, the gym. Gym is a very common facility in hotels, right? So facilities are all the things that the hotel offers to the guests. And extras, it's important to understand what the extras are. Extras is everything that is not included in the daily rate that you're paying. All right? And as we are talking about Las Vegas, extra is something very, very important. I can tell you that 95% of the hotels on the strip in Vegas, all the hotels and casinos, they charge these extra fees every day. And the Brazilians get really pissed because of this. Brazilians get angry because you paid the daily rate. When you check out, they will charge you lots of extras for those days, and I'll explain to you what those extras are. All right? But the most important is that you ask, okay? What are the extras? For example, breakfast is extra. All the meals are extra. All right? Sometimes the resort fee is extra, and all the hotels charge for a resort fee. Let me put here, resort, so you understand that. Resort fee. Okay? An example. Let me put it here. Example, resort fee. All right? Good. Before we move on to let's build the story, questions. Do you have any questions on the vocabulary of traveling? Because now we're going to practice talking about all this. All right? So any questions, please let me know. Write down here on the chat box if you have any questions. Please. No questions? Eliette never has a question, but she always listens to me. Okay, Eleni Cabani, she's ready to travel. Yeah, babe. Now we're going to be talking about traveling a lot. All right? We're going to be we're going to be talking about traveling a lot, and maybe traveling, right? Now, another question to you. Let me get out of here. Oh, hold on. Another question to you is, do you find this vocabulary helpful? It is really helpful, I think. Okay. But do you find this helpful? Do you think that do you think that you're able to make sentences with this kind of vocabulary? Because if you practice them, if you practice with with all these words and divide the training into parts, you're gonna do just fine. You're gonna do just fine. All right. Okay, good. Yes, okay, good, good. It's important that you find useful, okay? Because some people say, I don't want to travel. I want to learn English, just to talk on Skype with my online girlfriend who lives in Texas. You don't need to understand anything about traveling, right? But something I can tell you, when you speak English fluently, and you're traveling, uh, things are much easier. Things are much easier for us. Okay, we can enjoy much more our trip when you know what to say and we understand what is being talked about. Right? Anyway, now you are going to build the story. Here is Carlos. Oh, I have to show you, right? There it is. All right, here it is. Okay. So Carlos, here is the information that you need to build the magic story today. Okay? Carlos is going to check into the hotel on June 21st. Okay? June 21st. Remember how to say dates. Remember Erika Belmonte's class, my friend. Yeah. So, and he's going to check out of the hotel on June 25th. He needs one room, and it's gonna be two people per room. He's traveling with his wife, right? Here it is. He wants a king room. He wants a king size bed. That's all he wants. Okay? Two guests per room, and it's going to be a free cancellation policy, right? Well, actually, it's not. It's no refund. We're changing this because he's traveling on the 21st. So he's traveling tomorrow. And there is no refund anymore. Okay, he's 24 hours away from his trip. Okay, more information. He's flying. Which airline is he flying? LATAM. All right, you can say LATAM, though. That's okay, no problem. The check-in counter is at Terminal 3. The check-in agent's name is Lucy. Tickets are not important. His luggage, he's traveling with two suitcases, one each, and two carry-ons, one each. Okay? Lucy is going to give him a paper boarding pass. He's not going to use his cell phone app to get the boarding pass. Okay? The security check is going to be on Terminal 3. Departure gate is 42. And the airport lounge is LATAM Airport Lounge. Okay? At the immigration, when he talks about purpose of the trip, he's going to say business and pleasure. He's going to a conference for 2 days, and then the rest he's going to enjoy with his wife, right? So total length of stay, 5 days. Travel money, 2 credit cards and cash. Relatives in the country? No. What does he do back in Brazil? He's an entrepreneur. When he gets to the airport in Las Vegas, he's going to take a Uber. He won't need an ATM, but yes, he's going to need a currency exchange office to exchange some travel money. All right? There's more. When he gets to the hotel, he's going to wait in line at the registration office or front desk. His check-in time is 3 p.m. Early check-in is 11, but he needs to pay $30. Checkout time is 12 p.m. on the 25th, on the 26th, I think. And late checkout is until 1 p.m. and it's free. He gets an upgrade to the room. And here are some facilities of the hotel: swimming pool, casino, gym, restaurants. An extra, yes, the most important extra that he's going to have to pay is a $35 fee per day. All right? Good. So now you know the story. Okay? You know the story. All right? I am going to ask you questions. You are going to answer the questions based on the information that you see here. And you were going to say that. Don't type in. Don't type it in. Let me open the chat box here. Okay, I like your blouse, Club Atlético Mineiro. All right. Okay, Junior. Okay, don't type in the box. Talk to me. Talk to me. All right, I'm going to ask you the question and you talk to me. All right? Are you ready? Good. Let's move on. Okay, so here it is. Well, we know that Carlos is going to Vegas, right? Good. When is Carlos arriving? Pay attention. When is he arriving in? Okay. Luckily, I just saw Emily Harf saying that she doesn't understand quite well the resort fee. Okay, before we move on, let me explain this resort fee. Most of the hotels in the United States that have swimming pool facilities, pool bars, gym, high speed Wi-Fi, among other things, they charge the resort fee. Okay, I don't know why they do that, because they could might as they could just include the resort fee into the daily rate, right? But they don't do that. Why don't they do that? I know why they don't do that. Because the rate, okay, the price for the night varies through the week. So for example, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday is very cheap. It's like $100 night. Okay? Wednesday and Thursday, they raise the price a little bit. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they put the price on the top. So the price of the room varies, okay? And that would probably be very difficult if they had to include the resort fee in all these up and downs of the price. So they fixed the resort fee once, $35 some hotels, $25, 20, 15. They say that you're paying for the swimming pool, Wi-Fi, and gym facilities in this resort fee. And you pay this resort fee at the end of your stay. All right? You pay it at the end. So when you pay on your credit card, it's not included. So when you check out of the hotel, the resort fee is there. So imagine if it's $35 and you stay 10 days, that's $350 more that you're going to have to pay. So Brazilians, they freak out when they see that. Now the word is spread. Everybody already knows about that. Okay. Emily Harf says, is it charged? It's normally charged by room, not by people. Okay, not by person, not per person. It's per room. Okay, it's per room. All right, good. So, question here: when is Carlos arriving in Las Vegas? All right, he's arriving on June 21st, right? How long will he be staying? How long will Carlos be staying in Las Vegas? 5 days. All right. And how many hotel rooms has he made a reservation for? How many hotel rooms has he made a reservation for? Pay attention to my question. How many rooms has Carlos made a reservation for? He has made a reservation for one room, right? Is he traveling alone? Who is he traveling with? Okay. What kind of room has he made a reservation for? A king size bedroom room. Okay. All right. Which airline is Carlos flying? Which airline is Carlos flying? You tell me. You don't need to type, okay? You don't need to write down there. Just tell me. Look at your computer, look at your iPhone or your smartphone, look at the screen and tell me which airline is he flying? And then you say, he's flying? He's flying LATAM. All right. Okay. Well, where can he find the check-in counter? Where is the check-in counter? Terminal 3. Okay, what's the name of the check-in agent? How many tickets has he bought? There you go. His wife, yes, Carlos and his wife. How many suitcases are they carrying? How many suitcases are they taking? How many suitcases are they checking in? They're checking in 2 suitcases. All right. What departure gate is he boarding the plane? Is he staying at the airport lounge? Which airport lounge is he staying? Which airport lounge is he going to wait for the plane? What's the purpose of his trip? How will Carlos be paying for his trip? Does Carlos have any relatives in the United States? What does Carlos do back in Brazil? How long will Carlos be staying in America? How is Carlos getting to the hotel? Does Carlos need a cash machine? Where is Carlos going to get some cash? Where is he going to get some cash? Yes. What is Carlos? What is Carlos going to do once he arrives at the hotel? Where is he going to go? To the registration office. Okay. What is he going to do at the registration office? Wait in line. He's going to wait a few minutes in line, right? Okay, back now. Are we back? Is the sound back? Hey, hey. Good now? Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, right at the end, what happened was I was recording this class, the audio of this class on a separate card, and the card got full. Okay, so the recorder stopped. Good, good. So now let's move on. Okay, let's move on. Does he get an upgrade to the room? Yes or no? What kind of facilities are there at the hotel? What kind of facilities does the hotel offer? Are there any extras at the hotel? Yes or no? Okay, good. So now you are going to listen to me. You're going to listen to me telling you the story. Okay, telling you the story. And then you're going to get this class and practice yourself. Okay? You're going to do it and practice yourself. Pay attention. All right? Pay attention. Here we go. Here's what you're going to do. And you're going to do with your own English. You don't need to imitate me. You're going to do with your own words. With your own words. All right? Here it is. Pay close attention. All right, here's the story. Carlos, pay attention. Carlos is going to Las Vegas, and he's leaving Brazil on June 20th at night, and he's going to arrive in Las Vegas on June 21st, Thursday. Carlos is going to stay in Las Vegas for 5 days. He has rented, or he has made a reservation for one room, a king size bedroom for two people, and he made a reservation with no cancellation, he can't cancel the reservation. All right, he's flying Leite at the Terminal 3 at Guarulhos Airport. Lucy is helping him at the check-in counter. Carlos and his wife are carrying two suitcases, one each, and they're checking in two suitcases, and each one is carrying one carry-on bag. Lucy is going to give him, don't worry about the time, okay? You can say Lucy gave them two boarding passes in paper, all right? They're going to go through security check at Terminal 3, and the departure gate is 42. Well, Carlos and his wife, they're probably, I don't know, but they're probably traveling business class, so they have access to the airport lounge by Latam. Well, once Carlos gets at Las Vegas airport, he's going to go through immigration, and at the immigration officer is going to ask, "Hello, how long will you be staying?" And Carlos says, "I'll be staying for 5 days." And the immigration officer says, "What's the purpose of your trip?" What's the purpose of it? What's the purpose of your trip? And Carlos says, "I'm going to a conference for 2 days, and I'm going to enjoy the city with my wife for 3 days." And the immigration officer asks, "Do you have any relatives in the United States?" And Carlos says, "No, I don't have any family members living in the United States." immigration officer is going to ask, what do you do back home? And Carlos says, well, I have my own company. I'm an entrepreneur. All right. Well, and then they're going to go to the baggage claim area, pick up their bags, and they're going to take an Uber to the hotel. Actually, Carlos needs some cash, but he's not going to an ATM machine. He needs a currency exchange office because he needs to exchange reais into dollars, right? Once Carlos arrives at the hotel, he's going to wait in line for the registration office at the front desk. Normally, the check-in time is 3 p.m. Right now is 9 a.m. in Las Vegas, right? It's gonna be 9 a.m. in Las Vegas. Well, Carlos wants an early check-in time, so he asks the attendant, is it possible to get an early check-in? And the attendant says, yes, sir, certainly. We charge a $30 fee for an early check-in, and you can check into your room at 11 o'clock. So you'll have to wait until 11. And Carlos says, oh, thank you very much. Is there a checkout time? What time is checkout? Carlos asks. And the attendant says, it's 12 o'clock, sir. Oh, is there a possibility that I can get a late checkout? And the attendant said, yes, you can check out until 1 p.m. Oh, thank you very much. Now, I was wondering, can I get an upgrade to a superior room? And the attendant said, oh, definitely, sir. We have available here an executive suite, and we're going to upgrade you to an executive suite. Congratulations. And Carlos says, oh, thank you so much. All right, so what are the facilities of the hotel? And the attendant said, well, we have a swimming pool and a wet bar at the swimming pool. We have a casino. You have access to the gym, and we have 3 restaurants: a Japanese, a steak, and vegetarian restaurant. And Carlos says, well, that's great. Is there any extras that I have to pay? And the attendant will say, yes, there is a resort fee of $35 per day. What have I just done here? I created the story. All right? I created the story. So what I'm going to ask you to do, and this is your homework. All right? We're going to upload everything to the portal, to the VIP English Club portal. You are going to listen to this lesson again. I'm going to cut the part. I'm going to edit the part in which I was in silence, right? No problem. I'm going to edit that so you can listen to the audio. And this is important. Are you all listening? Each one of you will wait for my post at VIP, and you are going to write down in the comments below the post of the class this short story, the way you want, okay, about Carlos going to Vegas, using this information here. This is your homework. All right, you can write down the story, and the best story, or the best 2 stories, the 2 best stories, I will read them next week. I will read the story next week. All right, this is your homework. So listen to this class again, and you are going to make the magic stories of this lesson. All right? Good. Guys, questions? Any questions? Did you understand the homework, what you need to do? Eliette Medeiros says no. Eliette Medeiros, no questions, or you don't understand what I just said. I understand. I know you said you understand. Okay? All right, so this is what you're gonna do. Again, I want you to build this magic story right down below here. Not here on YouTube, but on the VIP English Club portal. All right, I'll be uploading this material tonight. Okay, tonight, everything is going to be at the portal. You can download, you can listen, you can see the vocabulary on a PDF, but you're going down below the post, write a short magic story. The two best magic stories we're going to read and we're going to practice them next class. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'm sorry for the audio here. My card just got full. Sorry about that. I have to delete very quickly the previous lessons that were recorded in it. But I think we did fine. I think you did fine. And I think you learned a lot about traveling today. It's a lot of material. All right. We went over an hour and 24 minutes now. All right. Ana, Luis Alquimine, thank you so much. And I'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.